Good morning from Kentucky. Today we are at the Louisville Zoo. Zoo I've never been to before, so excited to go and check it out and see all the animals and what's inside. What better place to start the tour of the zoo than the elephants? Now the star of the zoo is this little guy here. His name is Fitz. He's about 3 years old and he is very, very cute. I mean, they have at least 3 big old elephants in here. Yeah. Pretty sure that elephant was trying to pick the lock and escape the zoo. Unfortunately, fooled again. Look at the trunk. There he's trying it again. That's pretty neat. All right, so this is a treat. That is about a 1-month-old baby zebra over there. Just adorable. The giraffe is both very tall and hanging out right by the people. Even if the giraffes are outside, be sure to come inside the giraffe building as they have a rock hyrax. Hanging out way at the top of this enclosure. There are also some birds in here. The northern bald ibis. And that is a very unique looking bird. The white rhinoceros is taking a nap. It was moving around a little bit, so I'm not sure if it's an itch or it's dreaming. I'm hoping it's having a fun dream. Oh, nope, it's definitely awake. Oh. I like this enclosure. You got an interesting duo in here. An African spurred tortoise.
Look, I'll put you right here so you can look out this little thing.
And then a couple of attics.
Here, he's gonna tell me you're wet.
Not exactly animals I would see like being friends. The lions are doing what they do best, sleep. One thing I think is interesting, the lions and the giraffes can see each other from the enclosures. So the lions are right there, and the giraffe over here. The bongo is relaxing. The warthog is very, very sleepy. Bummer we don't get to see him awake, because I imagine probably quite enjoys his mud pile over here.
And this is a, you see the tiger?
Very pretty tiger.
Did you see it?
Yeah.
There are plenty of viewing areas for the tigers, so be sure to check them all out. Might take a minute to find it, but right above the guest pathway, hanging out is a snow leopard. Zoom in. Neat. Next section of the zoo is Glacier Run. Big old brown bear. The theming level on this section of the zoo is really, really good. The polar bear is currently taking a nap. You can see right over there. But I will say this enclosure they have for him is incredible. It's one of the best polar bear enclosures that I've seen. It is massive and lots of stuff. And like, look at the size and depth of the swimming pool. Really, really well done exhibit. This pool here is for sea lions and seals, and it does look like a couple times a day they do a presentation with them. The next section of the zoo is the gorilla forest. Always love the meerkat enclosures. The one that's up on lookout is just posing for us. And you got a couple other ones.
Yours is in the
Right next to the meerkats are the naked mole rats, a very interesting looking animal. Unfortunately, when you go to the zoo, you tend to not see every single animal, but the pygmy hippopotamus have a really, really nice enclosure. Lots of water and waterfalls. I like it quite a bit. It's pretty awesome. The big male gorilla is right here up against the window. He's staring. They have a large indoor area for the gorillas as well, and they have a bunch, a lot of males in their the gorilla pack here at the zoo. We just walked inside the Islands Pavilion. You can see some large fruit bats hanging up. And in this Islands Pavilion, you get starts off with a bunch of bird enclosures. Pretty nice bird enclosures. And there's the Victoria crown pigeon. You have an interior room for the Siamese, and it's a really neat enclosure. Very, very tall. The next section takes you into an aviary, and you can see a Ryan Smith macaw. Probably a lot of other birds in here as well. There's another one of those Victoria pigeons I really like. All the way on the top of the tree there is a prehensile-tailed porcupine. Floating on by is my personal favorite animal, the penguin. That guy's an African penguin, so they're warm weather penguins. Nice enclosure for them, although they don't have a ton of penguins. You see another couple in the back. So this is pretty spectacular. The big male orangutan is right against the glass of the enclosure. Yeah, right there. It's over there. It's so cool. There's another one in the back. For the island area, there are 4 different exhibits, and the animals rotate between the Siamangs, the Barbarossas, the tapirs, and the orangutans. So, but he's so cool. If we peek through the bamboo there, you can see a resting tiger. Another view of the resting tiger, and that is a Sumatran tiger in this enclosure. It's a very happy-looking Barbarossa. The zoo has a lot of Aldabra tortoises, and very, very large ones too. And a black swan that's swimming by, giving us the business end. This brings a big smile to my face. They've got the little blue penguins, the smallest of the penguin species, and they have a lot of them. Oh, and they're paired up with a nene goose. That makes this enclosure even more fun. Of course, the nene native to Hawaii and very endangered, I believe.
Look at that one.
Louisville Zoo does have a lot of the little penguins.
What? I want to look at the penguins.
In we go to the herpaquarium. As you could have guessed from the name, this is a combination of a reptile house and an aquarium. An alligator snapping turtle. I always find these fascinating animals. Floating down there is King Louie, a rare albino alligator. We've got another crocodilian or alligator species over here. Well, that one's in a pretty cool pose. He woke up and got his mouth open to probably cool off, as it is very, very warm in this exhibit. Here you can see Romulus, the Komodo dragon here at the Louisville Zoo. A smaller Komodo dragon, but also one of these smaller enclosures I've seen for a Komodo. And I think I might have just woken him up. I'm sorry, Romulus. There's a really good size enclosure for the lemurs. Look at this guy. Look at that little pose. Oh my goodness. They have at least 3 of them. Lemurs are cool. For a couple bucks at the zoo, you can ride the Carousel. What I find really interesting, this Carousel is powered by solar energy. Good for them. I do like whenever zoos have something like this, where if you see people harassing the animals or doing something dangerous, you call a hotline. The zoo's home to a butterfly garden, which is very pretty. Got a bunch of them flying around and landing on the different flowers. Looks like over here for a couple of bucks you can ride a camel. Not the best view of the colobus monkeys, but they do have a really neat enclosure with indoor areas and outdoor areas, and like tunnels that go over guest pathways in some areas. So definitely feels like one of the more modern exhibits. For $2 you can go and feed the lorikeets. Ah, this is the bummer. The Walla rock ride is unfortunately closed today. See all these Australian animals. And they even have 4 Bennett's Wallaby Joeys. That sounds adorable. If I use the super zoom to the fullest, you can see one of the wallabies right there. They're so cool. The jaguar is up and wandering around. A absolutely beautiful animal. I will say, not one of the better enclosures here at the Louisville Zoo. So hopefully this is one on their fixer-upper list. But man, that's a pretty animal. Big furry sloth sleeping in a bucket. And if you wanted to, you could follow Sonny and Sebastian on Twitter at Lou Sloths. I'm probably gonna go ahead and do that. Some flamingos and pelicans in this enclosure. A beautiful bald eagle looking right at us. For about $10 you can go up on the ropes course if you'd like. For the summer of 2022, there's an exhibit all throughout the zoo called Incredibugs, which is going to be these giant animatronic creatures. This one is the stink bug, and they're really, really big. There's a giant ladybug. Not much movement on the ladybug, just a little bit in the mouth area. A lot more movement over here with the giant butterflies. Here is the dung beetle in classic dung beetle kind of pose. This terrifying looking bug is the peacock jumping spider. You know, some of these can definitely give people nightmares. This one feels different. These are western harvester ants. Flower beetle, also terrifying, especially with those noises. There's a giant anthill for the western carpenter ants. The cicada. Flame skimmer dragonfly. The screaming katydid has some of the more movement of these guys. The jewel beetle is one of the larger of these bugs. A giant version of the Madagascar hissing cockroach. And that'll do it for time at the Louisville Zoo. I had a blast. We're here about 2.5, 3 hours. Some of the highlights for me, my favorite animal was probably the little baby zebra, as that was just completely adorable. And I love the polar bear area. That exhibit section was really, really nice. I also like the islands area. But overall, really nice zoo. I feel like I got my value for the $21 or so it cost to get in, and would recommend it if you're in the Louisville area. If you have any questions about the zoo, let me know in the comment section below, and thank you for watching.